Looking at the outside of the scope here, you can see that with this second focal plane 1 to 8 strike legal, you can see that it has a threaded. Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about 3 of our low power variable optics that you may be trying to choose between for your AR-15. That's going to be the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 second focal plane, the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 first focal plane, and the PST Gen 2 1 to 6 second focal plane. First up, let's talk about what makes all these rifle scopes similar. Being low power variables, that means that all of them start in terms of magnification on 1 power for up close and fast engagements, and then they have the ability to zoom in to a higher power for longer distance shots. In the case of the Strike Eagles, as the name implies, that goes up to 8 power, and then with the PST Gen 2, we go up to 6 power. All of these optics have 30mm main tube sizes, so in terms of what mount you'll be looking for to mount it on top of your rifle or rings, it's all going to use the same mount or rings. In terms of the controls on these rifle scopes, all of them have capped elevation and windage turrets, and on the side they have an additional knob for the illumination intensity settings, which of course means that all of them have illuminated reticles for use in low light scenarios. Now let's talk differences. We'll start talking about the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 second focal plane here, which in terms of weight is the lightest weight of all 3 of these optics, weighing in at 17.6 ounces. The PST Gen 2 1 to 6 would be next at 22.7 ounces, and then the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 first focal plane would follow in at 23.9 ounces. Sticking with the outside of the optic here, you can see that with the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 second focal plane, we have this thread-in throw lever, which makes changing the magnification even quicker and easier to get to. With the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 first focal plane, we have a band type throw lever that will come out of the box with the optic that you can put around that magnification ring. And with the PST Gen 2 1 to 6, it doesn't come with one out of the box, but that is an available accessory after the fact. When it comes to the turrets, like we said before, all these optics do have capped elevation and windage turrets, but when it comes to the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 first focal plane and also the PST Gen 2 1 to 6, both of those optics are going to give you a more advanced turret design and one that also offers more tactile feel when making adjustments. Now, as we look inside these rifle scopes, that's where we're really going to find the major differences between them. When it comes to the magnification, that's probably the most notable difference between all of them. Of course, with the Strike Eagle models being 1 to 8, offering 2x more magnification on the high end versus the PST Gen 2 being a 1 to 6 optic. And then, of course, we have the difference between second focal plane and first focal plane. Both the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 second focal plane and PST Gen 2 1 to 6 are second focal plane rifle scopes, which means that as you change the magnification from the lowest magnification to the highest magnification, you'll see that image growing and shrinking, but the reticle will appear to stay the same size throughout that whole change. With our Strike Eagle 1 to 8 first focal plane, as the name implies, it's a first focal plane rifle scope, and therefore, as we change that image size and it grows and shrinks with our change in magnification, the reticle will also appear to be growing and shrinking at the exact same rate as the image. What that means for you as a shooter is that with a first focal plane rifle scope, if you're using features on the reticle outside of just the center crosshair, then you're going to be able to use those in confidence, knowing that they're at the proper scale to the image on any magnification, because that reticle is always staying at the proper scale throughout the whole mag range. On second focal plane rifle scopes, even though the reticle appears to be staying the same size as the image grows and shrinks around it, that actually means that its scale is constantly changing, and it's not at the proper scale unless we're at one set predetermined magnification, which in both of these optics is the highest magnification. We go further in depth on the differences between first focal plane and second focal plane in our dedicated video on our YouTube channel, so go check that out if you still have questions. But just know that you can always use the center crosshair on any magnification on either first focal plane or second focal plane without worry about it changing with the change in magnification. While we're on the topic of focal planes and reticles, let's talk about the different reticles available in these rifle scopes. When it comes to the Strike Eagle 1 to 8 second focal plane, with that you're going to get the AR BDC-3 reticle, which is a BDC specifically tuned to the 5.56 round, giving you drops up to 600 yards and also wind holds at 5-mile-an-hour increments. Another unique feature it has is a ranging feature at the top of the reticle. When you go to the Strike Eagle 1-8 first focal plane, you're going to get the EBR-8, which visually and functionally is very similar to the AR-BDC-3, but of course in this case it is in the first focal plane. Then with the PST Gen 2 1-6, we have our VMR-2 reticle. This is, again, in the second focal plane, and it's a much simpler looking reticle with just simple hash marks that are in either MOA or MRAD values. That is unique in the fact that the Strike Eagles are available in MOA only, so with that PST you can get MRAD. And whichever type of measurement you choose with the PST, of course, the turrets will also match. All the reticles in these rifle scopes are illuminated for use in low light situations. With the Strike Eagles, you're going to get the center dot and the surrounding broken circle illuminated when you power on the illumination. And then with the PST Gen 2 1-6, it's just a center illuminated dot. In terms of overall optical quality and optical systems delivering you the best image possible, if we were to list these scopes out in order of good, better, and best, well then we would start out with the Strike Eagle 1-8 second focal plane. From there we go up to the Strike Eagle 1-8 first focal plane. It's important to mention that even though these scopes are part of the same Strike Eagle family and they both have the same magnification range, they're actually two completely different optical systems, and we would say that the Strike Eagle 1-8 first focal plane is a superior optical system delivering you a better image. From there we go up to the PST Gen 2 1-6. That of all three of these has the overall best image quality and optical performance. One interesting difference in the optical systems of all these rifle scopes is usually when you have fixed parallax rifle scopes like these, it's oftentimes fixed at 100 yards. In the case of the 1-8 first focal plane Strike Eagle, it's actually fixed at 125 yards. Now this is something that you would really only notice probably if you're more acutely aware of different subtle differences in optical systems. But we find that having the parallax set a little bit higher will get you better overall image quality and focus at greater distance. And the trade-off is really not that significant when we're talking about targets up close. We don't really see a huge difference there. So you're just getting that little bit better optical performance at distance. There you have it, everybody. Those are the major differences between the Strike Eagle 1-8 second focal plane, the Strike Eagle 1-8 first focal plane, and the PST Gen 2 1-6 second focal plane rifle scopes. If you have any other questions about these products in particular, or any other product in our line for that matter, just drop us a comment below or hit us up via phone, email, social media, whatever works best for you. We always love hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching these videos. We'll see you on the next one.